Welcome back. Today I got an interesting video for you. But before, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Now, let's get into it.
Yesterday was my 3-year anniversary of becoming a home borrower. I borrowed this house from the bank 3 years ago and I hate it. And some people are asking me why. Why do you hate it? Because I can't afford it. I can't afford this house. When I borrowed the house, I could afford it. And the bank insured that. Since then though, when I borrowed this house, my homeowner's insurance was $1,323 a year. Today, 3 years later, my homeowner's insurance is $2,654 a year. That is a little over $100 increase, which is added to my payment. Now, I know a lot of people will say crap like, oh, well, if you buy a house, your mortgage will be cheaper than your rent. Sure, if I were to rent a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, my rent would be a lot more than my principal and interest on this house. However, I'm escrowed, so it doesn't fucking matter because I have to pay principal and interest, my property taxes, and my homeowner's insurance monthly. So I know some people will usually say like, oh, my mortgage increased by $200 this year. Yes, we're not actually referring to the mortgage, which is the principal and interest amount. We're referring to the overall payment that we have to submit to the bank every month.
As you can see, black females have been talking more and more about their regrets of buying a house and having a mortgage. If you haven't noticed, it's all over YouTube. How they share their regrets, why they regret it, how much it's costing them now to pay. And it's an interesting topic because females have boasted every chance they had, every chance they get, every last breath about having a home, owning a home, being able to pay your own home, buy your own home, and how black females are doing so much better than black men today. Although now we're starting to see how it's backfiring through their own words. We are not putting these words in their mouth. They are letting everyone know by themselves that they regret it.
It's not actually the mortgage, we know that, but we're in escrow, we don't have a choice. So it's the mortgage payment that we're paying. When I signed up for this fucking house, I signed up to pay $1,800 a month. I'm closer to $2,200 now in 3 years. That's a lot of money. And it's only going to continue to increase. And that's kind of my issue with this right now. Because I'm at a point where I'm like, this is actually no different than renting. The only difference is that I don't have a landlord that I can call when my fucking toilet overflows. Or, when the basement floods or whatever the fuck happens. I don't have that option. Of course. And we all know that going into home ownership. Like, I had the savings for that. It was, I was fully aware of that. But everything is increasing, and we all know that too. Like, everything, the cost of living is increasing, and I can't afford this house. I hate it. But I can't, it's like, I'm probably not going to go back to renting because I invested over $30,000 into living here for upfront costs, not referring to how much I've paid in my mortgage and all that, but I'm a single mom.
So this female is a single mom and struggling to now pay her mortgage. Now, it's always a good thing to be able to buy a home for yourself and your children. Although what I see with a lot of these females is, are you buying a home to secure your future, to build for family, or are you doing it to create this online persona profile that you are the independent baddie who is living that luxurious lifestyle? Let's just be real. If that wasn't the case, then these females would have thought about, first of all, the finances behind it, what it takes, and if doing it alone is really realistic. But because females really wanted to put black men down and prove to black men that they don't need them to be financially successful and own and have ownership, they did anything and everything to prove that, so much that it's pulling them down. And it's clear this female has always been making bad decisions as she's a single mom. So this isn't the first bad decision that she's made.
Regardless of me being a single mom, I make a decent living. Like, there are people in joint households, 2-parent households, who make less than me or make as much as me, and so it's really not the single mom aspect that I'm referring to in terms of financially. It's more so, it's too much for me to do on top of being a mom and on top of working full-time. Like, we all know what comes with being a single parent. So for me, it's just like, it's too much. Life is lifing though. Like, I don't know, I got sucked into the world of, oh my God, I want to get married, I want to buy a house, I want to do this. It's like, I let society tell me that's what I wanted, but when I got it, I don't want it. And I hate that for me. Because it took me a little too long to realize what I actually wanted for my life and not what I thought I wanted for my life, because society makes it seem like we should want certain things. I don't like being a homeowner. I don't like it. And I don't care about, when you pay your house off in 30 years. I don't care about that, because the end goal for me is just making sure I have some place to come home to, I have a roof over my head. And like I said, this shit isn't mine. Whether I'm renting or borrowing or owning, it's not mine. It's not ours. Like, it can be taken away regardless. I'm depressed. I'm depressed. I'm just waiting to see what I think it's gonna. I'm stuck. I feel stuck. I'm depressed. I feel stuck. I feel lost. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. My rant is over for today.
What gets me is she will compare herself as a single mom to a 2-parent household and try to make it seem as if she's in a better place because she's making more amount of money than an average married couple or a couple. In that moment, I think she wanted to appreciate the fact that she's not in a relationship struggling financially, although she's still struggling financially, or she wouldn't be talking about how hard it is to be a single mom and working full-time whilst paying for a mortgage. Instead of just being open and honest about how it would be easier regardless of how much the man or the woman is making, it will always be easier, it will always be better to have a man to help you pay off the mortgage, help with the bills, help with the issues that are happening in the home. And these things are always easier to manage with a man. Another thing that she also stated is how she had this dream of being married and owning a home and having children. Now that she has all of that, but you don't have all of that. Don't lie to yourself and other females that buying a house is the dream that you're talking about. What she has is a broken home.
My mortgage went up $1,000 and I am not okay. So let me tell you guys, for the longest time, people be screaming from the hilltop, home ownership is not it. Like, don't rush. And I will just be like, I don't understand it because I'm literally chilling, like cheaper than rent. I was bamboozled. So let me tell y'all what they do not tell y'all about real estate. So they do an analysis every year from, at least with the mortgage that I got, right? And so they did an analysis and basically my mortgage increased by $1,000. And I asked them why. And they were like, something about, my house is a new build. And so I guess they charged me for the taxes when it was just the land for 2 years. Then after year 2, they add the taxes with the house actually on it. And they were like, yeah, your builder is supposed to tell you. They didn't. They didn't. And so I asked them, can I sell the house?
Being prepared to buy a house is very, very important. This is why men say that females aren't logical, they don't think things through, they don't analyze things. There's so many things that females don't do that men do, which puts them in a place where they could have more advantage of managing things that will change in the future, like your mortgage going up. What I'm saying is females were very fast to be independent. And what they thought about being independent means I can finally buy this and that and that and that. And the first thing they all went to go buy was a house. Did they plan for the mortgage to go up? Did they plan for issues going in the house? Did they plan for their income staying the same for the next 2-3 years, 4-5 years? Who knows what? Not prepared for any changes that's going to make life harder for you. Although females were too keen on acting like a man, realizing now that she's doing it alone, she's not a man and doesn't have a man, and is starting to really kick her ass when it comes to owning a mortgage.
And they were like, there's no equity in it. You guys see me smiling, but come next month, I'm literally going to be in tears because $1,000 extra a month, I legit want to move back home and live with my parents. But I don't have that option. I'm sick. Like, I'm sick. Honestly, don't buy a house if you're single. Like, buy a house when there's 2 incomes coming in because, baby, you gonna need it.
What's sad about all of this is females only want to realize that they need a man when they're struggling. Whether it be finding a man, financially, being a single mom, they only want men when it's becoming hard to do things by yourself. And that's what's sad about it, is you didn't want to appreciate what men do. You didn't want to appreciate what comes with a man. You didn't want to acknowledge what it means to be a man and how much you need a man. Too busy wanting to be like him or get the best version of a man, the 1%, the 2%. Although now she's coming to realize those things don't matter anymore. Especially now.
Yes, when I tell you, I know I talk about home ownership and that, but honestly, be truly prepared and have additional savings before you start this journey, because today, not even today, on Thursday, I woke up, my boiler is doing drippity drop drop drop. And when I got this house in September 29th, October basically, I prayed to God, because I know the boiler was old. I prayed to God, I said, God, let this boiler get me through the winter. And this is why you should be really, really specific, because I should have said, let it get me through the summer or till I am ready to part with the money to change it. On Friday, it got even worse, and I called my builder. I was like, yo, you need to come check this boiler. They came today. They said the boiler needs to go. They gave me the quote. And guys, just be truly prepared for home ownership. That's all I got to say.
Females are very, very irresponsible. She bought a house knowing that the boiler's old. You know, one thing about men is anything that they want to invest their money in, they will look at the pros and cons. Females don't do that. They don't look at, okay, well, what's the pros, what's the cons, and how is it going to affect me in 10 to 5 years? How much is it going to cost to fix this? How much do I have? How much will I make? Realistically, is this going to be worth it or not worth it? Females don't go through that process. They think they do because they're now corporate baddies or own their own business and making however much money they're making. Although just because you have a good paying job doesn't change the fact that you're irresponsible, doesn't change the fact that you don't actually make wise decisions once again. And to me, these females they bought their problems.
Whoa, 93% of home buyers regret buying a home in 2023. Wow. So if you have regrets, at least you know you're not alone. 33% feel their home requires too much maintenance, and 30% feel like they bought too quickly. So how do you avoid the regret? Sit down with your agent before house hunting, go over everything you want, need, and can afford. Then we go find the one. So what do you do if you're sitting in a house of regret? Life is too short to live in a home that you don't love. Take advantage of the recent price increases and trade it in for a home that you actually adore. If you're curious how much your home has gone up, DM me or send me the word value for a free quick evaluation.
It's quite something when 93% of home buyers are beginning to regret buying their homes in 2023. And to be honest, it probably even started before that. Another thing as well is majority of the people that regret buying homes are females. It's females on social media talking about it. It's females who are crying about it. It's females who are saying they're depressed about it. Not men, not couples, no one in committed relationships, married, happy homes, happy families. They're not talking about it. It's single, independent, baddie, corporate babes, feminist females who are on social media talking about their regrets. Nobody else, and not enough of anybody else either.
So last week, Bloomberg reached out to me to do a story on how much I hate being a homeowner. And I was like, yeah, I really do hate it. So I'd love to do that story. They were in my home and everything, and I actually love this picture. Listen, I know I'm blessed because I bought this house in 2020 for $365, and now the house is over $620,000. And I told myself if I can get double for what I got for it, I'm selling. I'm cutting it loose. I know I may never be able to live in a house like this again. May never be able to live in a neighborhood like this again. But home ownership is so ghetto. One thing someone never explained to me is they were like, rent can go up every year. Guess what else can go up? Your property taxes, your insurance. So the mortgage that was $2,500 when I moved in July of 2020 is now $3,300 on top of everything that I have to fix this house, which is constant. So I'm putting the house on the market. I'm super excited about it because I think there's a lot of things that we could do with $300K. Mainly live in an apartment. That's all I want. I miss living in an apartment. I was living in an apartment last year and the house was on Airbnb, and I miss it. You know what I miss more than anything? Amenities. So now y'all can come along as we get this house ready to be shown, which is insane. I honestly never thought I'd move out of this house, but the amount of relief I feel not having to live here anymore. If something breaks, guess what? Whose problem it is? Not mine. Not anymore. From now on, if a light bulb needs to be changed, I'm calling maintenance. I'm calling maintenance. Y'all need to come over here and fix it because I'm not doing it no more. Air conditioner filter, please, I don't even touch those. Maintenance is gonna do it. But the plus side of homeownership is now I'm walking away after living here for 3 years with $300,000. When you're renting, you're not walking away with anything. So I think this is definitely the best investment I've ever made, not even accounting for how much money I made on Airbnb last year. So I can't wait to be a homeowner again, but I'm going to give myself some time.
Females are too invested in living a lifestyle they can't afford. They think making however much money they make, they think making more money than the black man means they can afford a lifestyle, means they're suddenly wealthy. I've said this before, females don't know what wealth is. Just like this female here, she said it nice and clear. In the future, she may not be able to buy another house like this, be in another nice neighborhood like this, have another opportunity to be where she's at right now. Why is that? Because she can't afford the lifestyle that she so desperately tried to buy and clearly cannot afford. She so desperately tried to live that she can't afford. She so desperately tried to prove that she can do without a black man and simply can't do. And that's what a lot of these females are doing when they're buying homes. I think it's more of an ego boost and chasing a lifestyle rather than actually making a stable decision for not only yourself but your family and what it can do for you in the future. Instead, they want to be everything that they aren't and can't be through buying these homes, through going to nicer neighborhoods. Majority of the time, that's all that it means for these females. I'm your hostess, Feminine Princess. These are my last thoughts. Females are too busy trying to prove black men wrong that all that they're doing is proving black men right. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.